inject into the mold. Okay, so that is called as the injection molding. So the main thing over in the injection molding is, so we're going to have the raw materials. Okay, so we're going to heat the raw materials to the desired temperature. In other words, until it's going to convert from solid to liquid. Okay, the liquid solution has been poured into the mold in order to get the required shape. So that is called as the injection molding. Okay. So the applications are, the various applications are, it's been used for the plastic producing process. So what does the processing of plastic means? Okay, so all the methods used for the processing of plastics, it may be like injection molding, the blow molding, the thermoforming, extrusion, etc. Okay, so in all the cases, okay, we're going to have the raw materials over there. Either it may be plastic, or it may be any other material. So basically, we're going to use the plastic as the raw material. Okay, so it mainly in some form which is then heated, formed, and cooled. So these are three important steps in all the stages of producing the plastics into the various shapes. Okay, so in case of the injection molding, it may be the blow molding, it may be any other extrusion. Okay, these are the three important steps: heated, formed, cooled. Okay, heated means we're going to heat the raw material. Formed means we're going to convert the raw material to required shape, whatever the shape we need. And the last one is cooled, solidification. Okay, it will be hard enough to withstand the load. Okay, so the term to memorize all the plastic processing methods. Okay, HFC, heating, forming, and cooling. These are the three important things in all the plastic processing process. So injection molding is basically has been used to process the thin-walled plastic parts. So for a wide variety of shapes and products. Okay, so we can able to get the variety of shapes of the products. It may be any shape. It may be the bottle shape. It may be any other shape. We can able to get it in the injection molding. So the basic principle is the plastic material is initially it has been melted in a heated chamber and then injected into the mold where it cools, and finally the finished part will be ejected out the cavity. This is the basic principle on which this injection molding has been working. So this is the diagram, the schematic diagram. You guys can able to check it out. So there are automation injection molding machines also there. So the manual injection molding machine is also there. Depending upon the need, we can able to select any type of injection molding. So this is the screw motor drive. So I'm going to tell what is the function of the screw motor drive. These are the screws. Okay, it's been surrounded. So it is the hopper in which the plastic granules have been placed. So these are the heated beds in all the. These are the three in the top, three at the bottom. Heated beds. So this is the cylinder barrel for the required shape. So this was the nozzle, and this was the mold. This is half of the mold. This is another half of the mold. Okay. So basically, the two half of the mold. So either we're going to call the male and the female die. So this is one half. This is the second, another half mold. Okay. So this is the cavity. So cavity in the sense whatever the shape we need. Okay. That depends upon the shape we're going to select, and we're going to select the type of mold over there. Getting? So these are the important parts of the injection molding machine. The first one is the screw motor drive, and the hopper. It has been used for the placing the plastic granules, the heating unit in order to heat the plastic components, and we're going to have the cylinder barrel with the screw motor arrangements. So if you want to be rotated, it's going to push it. It's going to push the heated plastic raw materials in through the nozzle into the cavity. It consists of the mold. Both the male and the female has been assembled, and the end is the cavity. These are the somewhat important parts of the injection molding machine. So right now, coming to the working principle of the injection molding machine. Okay, you guys are getting? Is it audible? Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So coming to the working conditions, once the motor has been switched on, so the plastic granules of the any shape, okay, has been placed through the hopper into the cylinder barrel. Okay, so it has been surrounded by the heated bands. Okay, so heated bands, they're going to supply the heat continuously. As the heat has been supplied to the raw plastic granules is going to melt over there. It's going to convert it into the liquid type. The solid has been converted into liquid. Okay. So right now with the help of screw motor type, it has been rotated. As it has been rotated, it's going to push the whatever the raw material, the liquid raw material is present over there. Okay. It's going to push through the nozzle. Okay. So once it passes through the nozzle, it's going to move to the cavity. So until we're going to fill the cavity. So once it has been filled it out, once the cavity has been filled it out, the process has been stopped. Okay. So after some time, it is the molds have been removed after some time. Once the mold has been removed, so whatever the required shape of the solid we need, we can able to get it at the end of the thing. Okay. So this is about the injection molding. Okay. This is the basic principle of the injection molding and its working condition. So any doubts over here for the injection molding? So any doubt in the injection molding? Kindly reply. Is there any doubt in the injection molding?
No.
Okay, fine. So this is the basic principle of the injection molding. So you guys write down the neat sketch and explain your own words. Okay. So no need to write whatever the explanation is present the same as the textbook or as the PPT or as the PDF. Okay. So understand the concept. Just get the diagram. So how it's going to work the stage by stage. Okay. As I've been telling. Okay. The three important stages in almost plastic processing machines. Okay. So one is the initial heating the raw materials. Next, the forming. Forming means converting into required shapes. And the last one is the cooling. These are the three important steps in the injection molding machine. So these are in parts. Okay, hopper. It has been tapered container working with the hopping motion to transfer the grains into the cylinder, as I've been told. The function of the hopper. Next, it consists of piston or plunger. Okay. So inside the cylinder, there is a piston or plunger which is used to move the material from cylinder into the mold. As the screw has been rotated, the piston or plunger is going to move the raw materials towards the nozzle. Heating arrangements. So outside the cylinder has been, the heating arrangement has been made. The mold is made into two halves, as I've been told. In between that, in the mold cavity has been presented. With the help of the ejector pins has been ejected out. So this is the working condition. So whatever I've been told, so the same working condition. These are the stages of the injection molding. So initially the clamping, the two halves of the molds are tightly closed before the molten plastic has been injected. Injection, cooling, and the ejection. Okay. So this is just the working principle. Okay. But here is given the stage by stage. So no, you guys can write this one as well as the explanation. Okay. In the para wise. So both are correct. So advantages and the disadvantages. Advantages are higher production rate, minimal wastage of material, complex geometry can be easily be produced. The disadvantages, so high setup cost, the tooling cost is higher, and the large undercuts cannot be formed. So these are the applications. It's been used for the various purpose. Okay, so wherever the plastics have been necessary to use in the society. Okay, it may be the medical devices such as the syringes. Okay, so it may be the buckets. So which we're going to use in the households. Maybe toothbrushes and all everything. Okay, we can able to get it in the injection molding process. These are the applications, advantages, and the disadvantages of the molding process. So the second important topic is the blow molding. Okay, so before we're going to tell the blow molding, we're going to show. So what exactly the blow molding? Okay, so what the main difference between the injection molding and the blow molding is? So the injection molding has been used to produce the solid objects. Okay, the solid objects, whereas the blow molding has been used to produce the hollow objects. So this is the main difference between the injection molding and the blow molding. So the injection molding has been used to produce the solid objects, whereas the blow molding has been used to produce the hollow objects. So that's the main important thing over here. Okay. So in case of the blow molding, so it's a plastic processing technique. It is similar to the injection molding. Okay. So which has been used to produce the hollow plastic parts. But in case of the in case of the injection molding, it's been used for the solid plastic parts. But in this case, it's been used to produce the hollow plastic parts. So by inflating the heated plastic units, it fills in the molds and forms the desired shape. So the raw material used for the processing in the blow molding is called the parison. Okay. So I'm going to tell what exactly the parison. Okay. So parison is a preform a tube. Okay. It is a tube-like structure. Okay. So that is alloy in nature. Okay. It's a tube-like structure which is a alloy in structure, and it has a hole at one end. Okay. I'm going to tell what is the purpose of the hole at one end of the parison. So this was a diagram for the blow molding process. So this is the blow pin. It is used to blow the air as well as to supply the raw material. It is the same thing. The extruder, it consists of the extruder, and the raw material, the heated raw material will be pushed into the parison. So this is the split mode. Okay. So this is the parison. As I've been told, what is parison means? The parison is nothing but the perfume tube that is alloy, and it is a hole at the one end. Okay. So it's a perfume tube which is alloy. It is the hole at the one end. So one end of the parison has the hole over here. Okay. So this is the extruder, the raw material. This is the blow pin, which is used to blow the air to the required size. This is the two split molds. In between that, the mold cavity. Okay, whatever the shape we need, we're going to have the parison tube over here. So the similar to that shape, we can able to get it. So the second important step over here is the molds. Both the molds have been closed over here. Okay, as the molds has been closed. Okay, so right now with the help of a blow pin, the air has been blown into the parison. Okay, so when the air has been blown, okay, so what happens? Since it's an alloy structure, okay, the parison is an alloy structure. It's going to bulge for the required shape. Whatever the shape we need, is going to bulge to the required shape. So after that, once the air has been blown, the raw material, okay, in the next step, the raw materials from the through the extruder has been poured inside the parison tube of the required shape. Okay, so right now the bottle-like structure mold has been selected, and the parison has been within these two molds. So once the raw material has been filled inside the parison tube, so it's going to settle into the required shape with the help of the air and the raw materials. Okay, so once the mold has been opened, okay, once it has been disassembled, so we're going to get the required shape, the alloy bottle like structure. So we're going to get the alloy bottle-like structure over here. Okay. So what is the main output? It is also used for producing the plastic parts, but alloy parts. Okay, alloy plastic parts. So this is the diagram. So how it's going to be shown over here. We're going to explain it once again. First, check out the parts of the blow molding process, and it will be easier for you guys to explain it. So first, the parison has been obtained, okay, by means of the extrusion, also from the some other process. We're going to get the parison, okay. So after that, above the preform, there is a blower, okay. At the top of the thing is there is a blow pin over there, okay. With the help of blower, the air has been introduced, okay. The blower and then perform the positioned, the perform is positioned between two splits off of the mold. The parison has been placed in between the two splits off of the mold, okay. And once the mold has been closed, okay, over the tube, okay, and the hot air is injected from the blower into the alloy tube. So once the hot air has been injected inside the alloy tube, it's going to bulge over there, okay. So the air expands the tube against the sides of the mold, okay. Because of the more compressed heated air has been passed, it's going to bulge for the required shape. So after sufficient cooling, the mold opens to release the product, as I've been told, okay. So this is the parison tube which has been placed in between the two half of the mold. After that, the air has been passed, okay. The hot air has been passed. So the hot air has been passed, it's going to bulge to the required shape, okay. So after that, the raw material from the heated raw material has been passed through the extruder into the this particular parison. So it has been filled inside the parison. Once the shape has been got, the molds has been ejected or else removed, the required shape of the part has been obtained. So this has been used to produce the hollow parts. So this is about the blow molding process. Whether you guys got it? Any doubt over here? Any doubt? Kindly reply. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
Shall we proceed for the next?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is about the. So these are some of the advantages and the disadvantages. So the main disadvantage is the limited to allo parts. Only allo parts can able to be done in the particular machine. And the thick parts cannot be manufactured over here. Okay. So these are the disadvantages and these are the some of the advantages of the blow molding process, and these are the applications. It may be for the manufacture of the plastic toys, the mugs, the fluid oil tanks, the containers, the bottles. So for this application, we're going to use this particular type of blow molding process. So these are the differences between the injection molding and the blow molding process. So we're going to complete with another important topic, okay? So extrusion process, okay? This is also important thing, the extrusion process. So as if you guys can able to check out the diagram. So this is the schematic diagram of the extrusion process, okay? It mainly have the extruder unit. Next, going to have the cooling unit. It's going to have the puller unit. And it's going to have the cutting or removal. So this is the hopper. As we know the function of the hopper. So the heating beds will be present over here. You know the function of the heating beds. So once the plastic granule has been placed inside the hopper, it will be moving for the cylinder. So inside, outside the cylinder, the heated beds will be present, which is going to supply the heat. Because of that heat, the plastic is going to be melted over here. The screw arrangement will be there. It's going to push through the die, and it's been going for the cooling unit. Because of the hot temperature, it's going to separate for the cooling unit. So in the water tank. So after that, with the help of the pull roller, it has been dragged into the required shapes. After that, there's been cutted into the required sizes. Okay. So this is about the extrusion process. So extrusion is basically a simple compressive metal forming process. Okay. So in this case, we're going to use the compressive force in order to get the material. So in this process, the piston or plunger has been used to apply the compressive force at the workpiece. So first billet or ingot. Ingot means the raw material has been called as the raw material is called as the ingot. So it is the heated raw material. Okay. So first the billet or ingot has been produced. So this billet has been heated, okay, in hot extrusion or remains at room temperature and placed inside the extrusion press. So I'm going to show with the help of the diagram, okay. So these are the two important types of extrusion: the direct extrusion and the indirect extrusion, okay. So it consists of the container. It consists of the container. It consists of the die over here, and this is the ram to apply the pressure, okay. So in this case, okay, it is like a nozzle structure, okay. The billet has been placed over here, the heated raw material, okay. The heated raw material has been placed in between the container. So once the ram has been pressed enough, okay, as the ram has been moved from right side towards the left side. So whatever the billet present over here, okay, is in the red dot structure, okay. So once there's been pushed, the compressive force has been applied, and it's going to eject it out through this particular size die, okay. So the extruded product, you may get it over here, okay. So in this case, the force has been applied directly. Because of that, it is called as the direct extrusion process, okay. So in this type of extrusion process, metal is forced to flow in the direction of the speed of the punch, okay. In whichever direction we're going to apply the speed of the ram, okay, in that direction is going to be moved out. So the punch is going to move towards the die during the extrusion. This is the die. So as the punch moves towards the die, the compression takes place, and it will force the raw materials to push in the given direction over there. So there is the direct extrusion. So in this case, we're going to have the indirect extrusion. So you guys can able to analyze the difference between the direct and the indirect extrusion. Okay, so instead of the plunger, okay, so we're gonna the things over